Hello, everyone. As I record this video, we are in the throes of the holiday season, and expectations are really high to make memories, to be joyful, for all the things to be amazing. And while that can be so much fun, we can also find ourselves in the midst of really hard emotions like stress, like sadness, like loneliness. And so today I'm going to help you understand those tough emotions and see how they can also actually be a catalyst to the high flying emotions. I'm Missy Hughes and I'm a productivity coach. Part of getting things done effectively is being able to navigate the tough emotions as you're trying to intellectually plan and achieve amazing things. You also feel a whole range of things. So go to the link in my comments or the description of this video and sign up to get my weekly practical tips in getting things done. So in anyone's life, in everyone's life, half of the time you're feeling neutral or really amazing emotions, and half of the time you're feeling neutral or really tough emotions. And that is part of life. There are no exceptions. It is a huge part of life that there's no place that's actually completely devoid of pain. We all get in the feels. So if it's always a 50-50 of tough and easy emotions, then the act of trying to get away from the tough emotions and only feel the great ones is actually a pointless goal. We can't ever achieve all the good and none of the bad. And so I'm going to go to an extreme place and say that ignoring the hard emotions, trying to get away from the tough emotions, is a form of lying to yourself. If you're avoiding the truth of what you feel half the time, then running from your emotions means delaying what they can tell you. So when you listen to that pit in your stomach, when you listen to that lump in your throat, that tightness in your chest, when you acknowledge that it's there, you can get its wisdom and get back to that neutral zone where it's all kind of okay, or back to that amazing zone where you really love how you feel. So, what does this look like in a practical sense? So, one hard emotion that I feel this time of year is I feel really anxious about forgetting something or someone that's important to me during the holidays. So, when I feel anxious, I'm not fully aware of what's happening around me. I'm often short with the people in my life, and I don't notice the details around me or the people available in front of me to appreciate and enjoy. So, in other words, when I'm thinking I don't want to forget something important, I forget the important things and people right in front of me right now. I forget the life in front of me now. When I look at the feeling of anxiety, it feels like buzzing. It feels like being over caffeinated. It feels like rushing around, but never actually getting anywhere, never actually leaving my house. So I don't really know. I'm not focused on what's in front of me. So I don't really know where I'm going. I never get there because I don't know I'm not going. So, what is that anxiety offering me? It's a check engine light. Alert, alert. It's telling me to refocus. Hey, the alarm's going off. The navigation system isn't working. Maybe this is what I learned in from my IT department in the hotel business. You should turn off your computer and turn it back on. That always helps to reset. So maybe you should turn off all of it. Take a pause. Let the overwhelm give you just a second. If you don't know where to go, don't go anywhere. Just stop. Take a pause. Take a deep breath. It doesn't cost time. It doesn't cost money. It doesn't make you less effective. It gives the gift of a reset. If I listen to the anxiety, what are you trying to tell me? Reset the navigation, reset where you're going. Then I get to decide, I get to pause and say, okay, what's important to me right now? Who's important to me right now? So instead of forgetting something that I think is important, I decide what's important. I focus on what I want to remember, on what I want to give energy to. So anxiety gives me a pause so that I can refocus on what's important. So let me give you another example. Another thing that I do, um, I worry about my family members. So what that looks like, my views on the world are fundamentally very different than many people in my family. So I worry about being criticized. I worry about what people will think. And so when I worry, my body tenses up. It's almost like I'm preparing for a physical attack. So when I'm tense, I'm very uncomfortable. I feel uncomfortable. My mind is not calm. It's also not open. So when I'm uncomfortable, I'm on alert. I'm actually looking for criticism. I'm getting ready for it. So one thing that you should know about me is I'm actually really good at finding things. So when I've lost something out in the world, I can find them. If my child has lost something, I can look and I'll find it. It's really cool, but when my things find me. So when I am looking for something, I find it. And if criticism is the thing I'm looking for, when I get tense, when I get agitated, then I'm looking for criticism, I will find it. One could almost say that I manipulate things to find it just to let my body relax and say, oh, there it is. I knew that was coming. I was ready for it. um, have you ever been there? Have you ever felt that like, oh, I get relief from being right, even though it stinks what I'm right about? When you're looking for it, you find it. So, what is that worry offering me? It wants to protect me. Bless its heart. For those of you not from the South, bless your heart is what we say when someone means well, but they are very off. They are off. They are way off. So that's me when my body is trying to prepare me for criticism, I'm the one criticizing. I'm the one judging. When I'm the one waiting for an attack, I attack first. I'm so afraid of not being accepted that I make myself prickly and hard to be around and hard to accept. So that tough emotion of worry is another check engine light. Alert, alert. Now it's my temperature regulation system. I'm running hot over here. I'm about to explode. Any slight spark, and I'm on it. I'm out. I'm off. So I need to take a pause. I need to cool off. I need to resource myself so that I know that I'm safe. I don't need this prickliness to protect me. I'm actually safe. When I get to the heart of it, I love my family and I know that my family members love me. I can look at each person in my family and find a connection. I can find the love. I don't have to search for it. I don't have to believe that it's not there. Sometimes I think sometimes I think they don't like me, but I know that we all love each other. So that temperature regulation system, that alert, that emotion of worrying about being accepted or worrying about being judged. In this example, when I remember that we love each other, I can refocus on my desire to connect instead of finding the ways that we disconnect. So I can give my helpful brain something to look for instead of what I want instead of what I don't want. Because when we're looking for something, we find it. I'm good at finding things. So if I'm good at finding judgment, I can also be good at finding connection. I want to clarify that this looking for the message in the hard emotions isn't the same thing as like looking for rainbows and daisies. It's not putting a silver lining on it. Instead, this is seeing the hard as a messenger. So there are a couple of steps to this that I want to highlight here. The first is that you acknowledge you're feeling something hard. Ugh, this feels terrible. Number one, this feels terrible. Number two, get specific. What feels terrible? I'm feeling anxiety. I'm worried about forgetting something. I'm feeling worried about acceptance. I'm feeling worried about judgment. What am I feeling? Number three, get curious. I wonder what the worst part about this is for me. In the first example, I don't want to forget things. I want people to know that I love them. I want people to feel special. In the second example, I want to feel connected. I want to share experiences, not judgment. So the worst part would be people thinking that I don't think they're important, or people thinking that all I have are negative emotions towards them, because it's what I'm fearing for myself, or fearing that all I'm getting is criticism. Step four is get compassionate. It makes sense that I would feel wound up when I'm experiencing these emotions. Of course, it feels terrible to be worried about forgetting something. Of course, it feels terrible to be judging and feeling judged. That makes sense. I'm not crazy. I'm not a terrible person for feeling these hard emotions. But step five is equally as important, and it's the next step. Get focused. What do I really want? If when I got curious, I identified what I definitely don't want. Now, when I'm getting focused, I can identify what I really do want. If I don't want to forget, what I do want is to show people how they are significant in my life. If I don't want judgment, I don't want to be judged or feel judging. What I do want is to look for ways to connect. So now I'm taking, and listen, when I'm looking for that connection, the smaller the better. The little things are the best things. So with any of these emotions, whenever you're feeling these really hard emotions, they all benefit from a little bit of a pause. And you can go into that acknowledgement, get specific, get curious, get compassionate, get focused. That pause gives you the gift of saying, okay, I acknowledge I'm not where I want to be, but can I acknowledge where I want to go? That's the biggest step of getting where you want to go, is saying, I don't want to be here, but we get caught up in being here, right? We get caught up in circling the drain of this feels terrible, it feels terrible, it feels terrible. Let me create more terrible around it. When we get focused, we can say, okay, I'm here. I don't like it. Where do I want to go? I'm not running from it. I'm not trying to deny it. I'm not trying to avoid the negative. I'm just saying, okay, this has something to tell me. What do I want to learn? Where do I want to go? How do I want to feel? And a lot of times, listen, the holidays can feel hard because those expectations of amazingness are dampened because we miss people we love. There's nowhere to go with that, really, except I'm missing someone I love. It hurts. I want to acknowledge them, not deny, acknowledge, not deny the pain, not deny the loneliness that we don't have them, not to deny the feelings that we're having, but to say, how can I celebrate this person I miss? How can I acknowledge the person I am that feels that? It's really important too. I hope for a wonderful holiday season for you. I also hope for a true holiday season for you where you are okay not being okay. And you also can see a path of how to move through that. I'll see you next week.